Welcome to World Knowledge Channel. In the history of mankind, the rise and fall of empires have created undeniable marks in the flow of time. From the lavish palaces of ancient Greece to the immense power of defeat of the Roman Empire, the world witnessed the domination of countries and territories. In this article, we will explore the largest empires that have ever existed on Earth. The great powers nation has shaped and changed human history. Let's find out which empire it is through this video. 1. British Empire. The British really contributed significantly to the creation of the modern world. Britain's representative democratic institutions inspired French Enlightenment philosophers such as Montesquieu to create modern political theories that had a profound influence on modern European nations. America's main characteristics, its adherence to liberalism, the rule of law, civil rights and commerce, were inherited from the British and spread around the world. Most of these features evolved organically over England's long history rather than as a result of some master plan. These same characteristics helped the British Empire develop, prosper and retain the territory it controlled. Moreover, its example was widely studied, whether for the empire's financial or naval might. At its peak in the 20th century, the British Empire stretched across a quarter of the world, the largest empire, in terms of area, in history. This feat was achieved largely thanks to Britain's organizational victories and financial strength, and then the role of a large army. For example, the British conquest of India was mainly carried out by Indian soldiers who received salaries and benefits from the British to serve the British. London also demonstrated excellent ability to handle multiple wars at once. The British rarely lost battles. 2. It's Mongolia. As we know, Mongolia is the empire with the longest continuous border in history. From the Mongolian steppes, Genghis Khan conquered the world. The Mongol Empire continued to expand its territory under his descendants. In its heyday, the Mongol Empire stretched from China in the east and Hungary in the west. Unlike Britain, the Mongols did not benefit from technological advances to dominate their sprawling empire. As a result, Mongolia was divided into smaller regions. The Mongols were famous for their brutality and cruelty. However, one of the positive achievements of this empire was the reopening of the Silk Road connecting China with Europe. 3. It was the Russian Empire, 1721 to 1917. During its heyday, the territory extending from the Arctic Ocean in the north, the Black Sea in the south, the Baltic Sea in the west and Alaska in the east, included all of Central Asia, Poland and Finland. The February Revolution broke out in the country, Nicholas II abdicated, and the Russian Empire collapsed. 4. Roman Empire. This empire clearly has great influence. The Roman Empire has long been the elite empire that represents the Western world. But its importance is not self-proclaimed by the West. The Roman Empire was actually one of the largest empires in human history. The Romans demonstrated an amazing ability to conquer and hold an extremely large territory for hundreds, even thousands of years, if you include the Eastern Roman Empire. Byzantine Empire. It is worth noting that this empire was held together not only by brute force. Once conquered, the people in that empire all wished to become Romans, which meant participating in a sophisticated, classically elegant culture. The modern world has a number of characteristics inherited from the Roman Empire. The Romans took over and promoted the native culture of Greece, passing on to later generations Greek architecture, philosophy and science. The Romans, after adopting Christianity, raised this religion from a small sect into one of the world's major religions. Roman law also influenced all subsequent legal systems of the Western world. Roman institutions also inspired the government systems of many modern nations. Although Greece is famous as the birthplace of democracy, America's founders were largely influenced by practices in Britain and Rome. In fact, many of them often expressed their dislike of the democratic experiment in Athens, while also expressing admiration for Rome's mixed form of governance with monarchical, aristocratic and democratic components. Share power. The American system of separation of powers is close to the institutional division of Rome. As the Roman Republic transformed into the Roman Empire, Caesar's ideas and authority inspired subsequent rulers. The Romans were a resilient people. They have the ability to recover from countless setbacks, regroup, and then defeat their enemies. Although the Carthaginian general Hannibal almost completely destroyed Rome after the Battle of Cannae in 216 BC, the Romans were eventually able to send an army to Carthage to defeat the city-state in 14 AD. The following year, militarily, the Roman legions dominated for centuries, helping Rome dominate nearly all other civilized peoples of the Mediterranean and Near East, except the Persian Empire. For hundreds of years, and only faced a few minor raids by less organized tribes. When the Roman Empire did fall, it was primarily due to internal crises and civil war rather than invasion by Germanic tribes. The Eastern Roman Empire lasted until 1453, giving the political history of the Roman state a lifespan of 2 millennia. 5. It was the Caliphate. The Arab Empire, also known as the Caliphate, was a political regime founded by the Muslim prophet Muhammad. This empire included most of the Arabian Peninsula at the time of Muhammad's death in 632. Calling it the Arab Empire would be more appropriate than calling it the Islamic Empire, because while Islam had its roots and spread widely from this empire, later there were many more Muslim and Muslim-dominated empires that were not Arab. Muhammad was succeeded by 4 consensus-selected caliphs until 661. The hereditary Umayyad Caliphate then ruled until 750, followed by the Abbasid Caliphate, despite successive conquests. The recovery has ended at this point. The Arab Empire effectively ceased to exist around 900, although the Abbasids maintained a religious role as caliphs in Baghdad until the city's destruction by the Mongols in 1258. After 900, the empire disintegrated politically, with the rise of many rival dynasties, including many of Turkic and Persian rivals, as well as rival caliphates in Spain and Egypt. However, in its time, the Arab Empire remained extraordinary, with its victories and its legacy. What is admirable is that a loosely organized, tribal people on the fringes of world civilization was able to defeat the Byzantine Empire and overthrow the Sassanid Persian Empire. Both empires had their own populations. The vast numbers and resources are overwhelming compared to the Arabian desert. The Arab conquests are a prime example of how ideological enthusiasm can compensate for technological and organizational weakness. The Arab generals of this period deserve to be ranked among the world's greatest military geniuses, especially the third caliph, Omar, who conquered the region from Egypt to Persia in 10 years. In 100 years, the Arab Empire grew to a scale several times larger than the Roman Empire at its peak. Thanks to its location, the Arab Empire, like the Persian Empire before it, connected the centers of world civilization in Africa, Europe, Central Asia, India and China. As a result, for the first time goods and knowledge from all these regions could be combined, bringing about new concepts such as algebra. The ultimate legacy of the Arab Empire, of course, is Islam, which today has more than 1 billion adherents. 6. It is the Great Han Empire. The Han Empire, 202–220 BC, was a dynasty founded by the Han people. Liu Bang was the king of the Han dynasty, with a land area of 6.09 million square kilometers. The Han dynasty was the golden age of Chinese history in terms of scientific achievements, technological advancement, economics, culture and political stability, along with the Roman Empire as a powerful civilization and empire. Best in the world at that time. In 220 AD, Cao Pi usurped the Han dynasty and the Eastern Han dynasty was destroyed. 7. Mongol Empire. The Mongol Empire was another empire located on the periphery. This empire came as a big surprise when it defeated much stronger and more populous enemies. This is the world's largest continuous territorial empire and one that uses terror against all its enemies. The empire was founded by the Mongol leader Temujin. This leader assumed the title of Genghis Khan in 1206. The First Mongol Empire expanded by gradually trimming parts of Chinese territory as the steppe tribes had done before. But the Mongol Empire's turning point was when its emissaries were killed by the leaders of the neighboring Khwarezmian Empire, which included Iran, Afghanistan, and Central Asia. Genghis Khan considered this a great humiliation, and the Mongols' subsequent revenge completely destroyed Central Asia, ending its golden era. The Mongol invasions and the subsequent establishment of European maritime routes, which avoided the Silk Road, put an end to the importance of Central Asia. Although there were only about 2 million Mongols in the world at that time, they still conquered most of the Middle East, Russia, and China. At their peak, they suffered only a few minor defeats except for an unsuccessful invasion of Japan and the 1260 Battle of An Jalut against the ruling Mamluks in Egypt. How were the Mongols able to achieve these feats? Despite their small population, the Mongols were able to field large, mobile armies because they carried herds of livestock and sustained their soldiers with horse meat. In an era before cryogenic technology, logistically, it was very difficult for the Chinese to launch an adequate army. The Mongol conquests took the lives of millions of people. But then Mongolia ushered in an era of peace and prosperity as trade expanded across their vast territory. In the long run, however, the Mongols proved ineffective in managing their empire. The empire eventually split into 4 khanates, each of which subsequently disintegrated or divided. 8. First German Empire. The First German Empire, 962–1871, was once a superpower in the Middle Ages, also known as the Holy Roman Empire, essentially the Holy Roman Empire of the German people, or German Empire. Holy Roman Empire of the German people. In its heyday, it included eastern France, northern Italy, parts of western Poland and all of Germany, with a land area of 590,000 square kilometers. After being defeated by Napoleon, it officially collapsed on August 6, 1806. 9. First Persian Empire. The Persian Empire of the Achaemenid dynasty was founded by Cyrus the Great around 550 BC. This king had the title King of Kings, Shahanshah. Although the Persian Empire met a tragic end at the hands of Alexander the Great, of the Kingdom of Macedonia, in 330 BC, the empire left a lasting legacy for the subsequent development of civilizations. World and future empires. The Persian Empire is a pivotal empire in human history. Because it was the first true empire, it set the standards of what an empire should be for future empires. The aforementioned Persian Empire existed at a unique time in history, when most of the inhabited civilized world was concentrated in or near the Middle East. As a result, the Persian Empire, while dominating most of the Middle East at the time, also ruled over a larger percentage of the world's population than any other empire in history. Specifically, in 480 BC, this empire had a population of approximately 49.4 million people, equal to 44% of the world's population at that time. The Persian Empire was the first empire to connect many regions of the world, including the Middle East, North Africa, Central Asia, India, Europe and the Mediterranean region. This empire sparked the concept of empire in places like Greece and India. Such a large empire could only be brought together thanks to military power. The military achievements of the Persian Empire were remarkable, although they are often forgotten due to the empire's sudden defeat by the armies of Alexander the Great. Persia's various campaigns conquered many of the world's advanced civilizations such as the Babylonians, Lydians, Egyptians, and the Hindu region of Gandhara located in present-day Pakistan. Stripping away the elements of exaggeration and misinterpretation, the Persians still believed that they had achieved their goals in Greece and that there were more Greeks living within the Persian Empire than outside. The Persian Empire ushered in a period of harmony and peace in the Middle East for 200 years, a feat rarely repeated. In terms of the imperial concept, the Persian Empire's legacy to the world includes the use of a road network, postal system, and a unified administrative language, Aramaic used throughout the empire. Regime, autonomy for ethnic minorities, and a bureaucratic regime. The Persian religion, Zoroastrianism, influenced the development of key concepts such as free will, heaven and hell in the Abrahamic religions through Judaism. 10. Ottoman Empire. The Ottoman Empire, 1299–1922, was founded by the Turks, reached its heyday in the 16th–17th centuries, had an area of 5.5 million square kilometers, spanned 3 continents and controlled many areas. Widespread in southern Europe, Western Asia and North Africa. The Ottoman Empire inherited the culture of the Eastern Roman Empire and Islamic culture. Because it was located at the intersection of Eastern and Western civilizations, it mastered the land communication lines of the two Eastern and Western civilizations throughout 6 centuries. The Ottoman Empire declined in the 17th century and was eventually destroyed. Looking back through history, the world's largest empires were not only symbols of military might and political domination, but also sources of cultural and technological inspiration, marking progress and development of mankind. Even though they have disbanded and no longer exist, their legacy still lives on in people's minds and is a source of inspiration for the next generation. The study and understanding of empires, this not only helps us better understand the past but is also a valuable lesson for our future. If you find the video useful, please share with more people and subscribe to the channel. Like and have any questions, please leave a comment below. Thank you for your interest in following. Hello and see you in the next video.